everybody. Woo! Welcome back to the show. Today we watched a great movie. Today we watched a movie called Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde.
A century ago, Dr. Henry Jekyll tried to alter the gene responsible for mankind's violent and sexual behavior. Instead, his miscalculation unleashed the dark side of his own nature. 3 generations later,
to my great-nephew Richard, I leave my grandfather's scientific notebooks.
his great-grandson would try to improve upon the formula.
Cheers.
But once again, things didn't go according to plan.
Are you all right? Totally ridiculous.
Dr. Jacks.
I've got to go.
Now, everyone's about to see a side of Dr. Jacks
Richard!
they've never seen before.
Are you just gonna stand there and stare at me, or are you gonna hand me that towel?
I'm gonna stand here and stare at you.
I'm Richard's new assistant, Helen Hyde.
Welcome aboard.
But not Mr. Hyde. It's
Yeah.
Miss Hyde. Like,
Is the Hyde.
he turns into a woman when at times, at the most inconvenient times possible.
Yeah. Well, okay, so in the Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Hyde universe, the book exists.
Yes.
Everybody's aware of that being a thing, right?
This. It's a signed first edition
What dear?
of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's signed here by Robert Louis Stevenson.
Oh, yes. Well, they were very close friends, Robert Louis and your great-grandfather.
Yeah, because his name is Dr. Jacks, right? And he's like, I'm not Dr. Jacks. I'm Dr. Jekyll.
I'm a Jekyll. Wah, wah.
Your great-grandfather, Richard, was a very strange man. I don't know why he wanted you to have these books. I always said they should have been burned a long time ago. But I want you to promise that no matter what else you do, you will never, ever dabble with your great-grandfather's work.
And so he inherits the old books because I guess his family was rich. And they were like, oh, he blew up the toilet once, so we're not going to give him anything. Everybody got like houses in like Rhode Island or whatever, and yachts.
Oh, yeah, one guy gets a
$1,000.
yacht and 6 Picassos.
Yeah, like a comical amount of like money was given to like all this person's relatives, our hero's relatives, and he's like, I'm poor, because all he got was like a stack of books.
What did I do? No, you look a little pale, Richard. No, I'm not pale, you dipshit. I'm poor.
And his
Yeah.
girlfriend, who sticks around but like starts hanging out a lot with his cousin. That's weird.
Yeah, well, he inherited a lot of money.
He did. I guess that's not that weird.
I felt like the first hour was just like drudging.
And it had lots of
Dredging.
voiceovers too. And like,
Oh.
just walking around.
Well, I guess my great-uncle Frank did remember about that exploding toilet.
Good
So
for
I
me.
got the impression that the movie started with nothing, right? And then they were like, this doesn't make any sense. We have to explain to the audience what's happening. So there was heavy narration in the beginning,
Like
but
American
then the
3000.
narration continued because they were like, well, there's narration in this film. We have to continue it. And then a bunch of it was like forced narration.
Like American 3000.
They caught me and a bunch of others on a Plugad roundup. Plugots are what the Frowls called us then. That's a Frow. They ran everything.
Where it's like, we made a movie. It doesn't make
Like
any
you forget and it comes back.
Yeah, and it's like, we got to just say what's happening, but it's very unclear. There's a bunch of grunting and shit.
The president. So yeah, okay. So Dr. Jacks,
Yes.
he's like, I got to make a perfume for this perfume company,
Oh,
but I'm
yeah.
a man, and lady doesn't like it because I'm not a lady, so I don't know what ladies want. And then for no reason at all, completely unrelated, he's like, I got to do this Dr. Jekyll experiment that's in these books that I inherited.
He drinks the stuff, and sometimes he remembers what happens when he's the woman, but sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, like initially, Ms. Hyde was like really ambitious and like getting a lot of stuff done, and it almost seemed like it was beneficial, like it was like to benefit our hero, right? Yeah. But then he's like, oh, she's going too far, because now she's like being too ambitious in the way that, like, women were ambitious back in the old days, where it's like, I want something, I have to bang the guy to get it. And so she starts like banging or trying to bang like his boss and like his coworkers and stuff. And then he's waking up and he's like, ew, oh my God, I had sex with my boss.
Like when he wakes, he comes to as a man, and like the bald guy from Groundhog Day, his house.
That's where he's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wakes up and he's like, oh no. And he's like in his underwear. And then he jumps out the window, and then he's hanging out the window, and then like his naked crotch is hanging in another window. It's like, it's New York
and the old lady's like, oh.
It's New York City. All you do is walk around in some women's underwear and say, this is me, deal with it. No one's going to give a shit.
Yeah.
But the first time he changed, the best thing ever, because he's had his interview at a restaurant, and he's late because he's been up all night doing like Dr. Jekyll science shit.
Yeah.
His girlfriend hates that he spends so much time doing that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, she wants, some of that D and Dr. D.
But like during the meal, he begins to transform, and there's like a few seconds where he's staring in the bathroom and breasts grow out of his chest.
Yeah.
So fucked up. And it's so weird. And his hair grows.
Little fingernails. He got like a little wet spot on his crotch when he was at the table, and I'm like, what's that?
Yeah, but
the guy's like, is this a bad time for you?
His penis shrinks. It goes away.
Yeah.
And his reaction, oh crap. But that's it. Oh, crap.
It turned into like a little bean.
But why does his fingernails grow out? Because
I don't know. Because girls have long nails and long hair. I knew that when I was a little kid. Somebody asked me, what's the difference between a boy and a girl, when I was in first grade? And I was like, girls have long hair.
Yeah.
That's how you tell.
But if it was really just like the physical transformation, it'd be like a woman with short hair and short nails. Like later in the movie, she grows a mustache for a second, and he never had a mustache.
No. I mean, you can see it like on the poster.
Yeah. See, right
Look
there.
at that. There.
See right there. It's like,
fuck.
Why does she have...
poster, though. This poster. Let's talk about this.
Yes.
What the fuck?
That's terrifying.
This is supposed to be a comedy.
That is terrifying.
I'm freaked out by it. The middle three faces of this Animorphs transformation. Are they... Is this what inspired it? It's horrible.
At some point, he changes again in the lab. And now he's the woman, and he goes to the shower.
Yeah, steamy hot shower.
And Jeremy Piven.
And then his disgusting coworker shows up.
Yeah, Jeremy Piven shows up, and he's like, "Are you gonna stare at me, or are you gonna give me a towel?"
I'm gonna stand here and stare at you.
She puts acid in one like this thing he's gonna spray on his face, and it's like burns his face, and you hear the scream, but you don't see it in the next shot. Like he's all covered in bandages.
Yeah. And then she tries to kill him with by shocking him with a car battery.
Yeah.
And scorches him with radiator fluid and stuff. I mean, she was legit trying to kill this guy. I mean, so there were a couple of funny scenes in this movie, I thought.
Yes.
Did you enjoy any of the movie?
The gay man.
That was it.
What am I paying you for? 20 years in therapy and I start liking girls? That's malpractice.
Because I love it when he is in the meeting and then she walks in and somehow he senses a man in him, and he's like, "Oh, hello." It's like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
The scene where she's having him smell the thing, and she's like, "Oh, I got the perfume, it's good," and they're like, "Eh," and then she puts her foot on their cocks.
Yeah, it's
they're all like, "Oh,
double foot.
It's great."
It's the gay man, and then the Groundhog Day guy.
Yeah.
And she has her feet just splayed out and just, it's like, oh, we should leave this meeting. Like, I'll wait till the meeting's finished. and then,
But then they're like arguing over like which one of them has to leave the room to like do their job.
But
And then finally like the gay guy's like, okay, fine. And he's like getting up and he has to like grab his notes and put it in front of himself because he's got a little pecker.
But she starts to climb I don't understand what her purpose is. Eventually she wants to take over the body completely, which I get that, but she all of a sudden
she's like, you're screwing everything up for me, you know, you're getting in the way of my ambitions, you know, because she just wants to bang her way to the top, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't like that. And he's like trying to get rid of her, and she's like, you know what, I thought you were an inconvenience and now you're a real problem. I need to get rid of you forever.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that was what was happening. So it was like whenever they had like their time, they were like plotting against each other, which, you know what, why wasn't that the whole movie?
Yeah. Why weren't they doing stuff like he tried it once? He kind of thought he understood when she took over. He had this awful computer program with like a bar graph that said her.
Computer.
Like me and her.
How do I genetics?
More me, less her. Equal. Less more her. All right.
Now we're not laughing with this movie.
It's like, oh, okay, but my calculations at 1:15, she's gonna show up. So he shows up to work, takes off all his clothes, so he's no like clothes to save him with, and writes like all the shit that she did on his body. So when she shows up, the investors go up and go, "Oh my God, that woman did all this stuff, and there she is." But it doesn't work out.
And they walk in, and it's still just him covering his dinger with like a lampshade or something.
That'd be interesting if it actually worked out, and then it escalated with like what they tried to do to each other.
Yeah, like revenge or whatever. Like that would have been like a great like revenge film. And he's just naked in his office, and they walk away, and he's just like, shit. The rest of it was just like, this is pain.
Yeah,
pain.
I thought this movie was going to be somewhat entertaining.
Yeah.
It was very wrong. I was like, this is an interesting premise. That's going to be handled oddly. And it was not in any good way.
No. Certainly no Carol Burnett choreography.
I saw that. I saw that Carol Burnett one where it's Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde.
Yeah. It was well done. I'm like, how did they get out of the way of each other so like easily? It was like seamless.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, obviously they just ducked underneath the table.
Oh yeah, but it was just like very well done, and it was so cute.
Yeah, it was like a goofy skit show. But I mean, that's what all these shows are. But that's what this movie was, like a goofy skit stretched out an hour and a half.
But there was a lot of like pain. It was like pain and just, why is this happening feeling, instead of it being like, oh, this is fun, you know, them fucking with each other or whatever. But it was just like one thing after another, just like, oh, I hate both of you. I want you both to fail.
Yeah, I don't like either of them. The power to have by like seducing men it has its limits, but it really doesn't. Like one point, the one guy says, "Hey, you know, it's really weird. You don't have a social security number, or you don't exist."
Yeah.
Well, what if we talk about it and then I do? Like some guy in the office can create a social security. What if I did? Let's do it. It's you still like, you can't just sex that into creation. At one point he tries to kill himself.
Oh God. I blocked that from my memory. That wasn't fun.
No, he drags the knife across his wrist, and just the act of like, he doesn't even cut skin. He's like, ah. It's not like he cuts himself and he's bleeding. He's like, oh.
No. He just like touched the knife to his skin, and I screamed at the TV. I was like, stop. I did. I was like, stop. I hate this movie.
I hate this movie too. We watched it, and we're just like, we went from hating to like a slight chuckle, like for 5 seconds of the movie,
Yeah.
like looking at our phones.
That was me. That was exactly it.
Those are like the emotions that I had. Well, at the end of this awful movie,
Yeah.
go to like an unveiling of this fragrance. I don't know if it's the exact same one that he did, but she's doing it now. So I think the investor lady and her dog seem to like the smell of it.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they loved it.
They thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big party. So you all like it ties up all the stories. Like everyone's there, the gay guy's there.
Yeah.
The nasty coworker, Jimmy Piven, there.
Yeah, even the girlfriend's there because somehow all of a sudden they were like, hey, let's patch things up.
Yeah, I forgot about that. At some point, she's like,
oh yeah, she actually found out. They were in it. They were trying to stop the Ms. Hyde together.
Because she's with the cousin at her place.
Yeah.
And he's acting all weird. And like, and trying to get with her. Then, he just burst through the door, dressed as a woman, looking like a crazy person.
Yeah, and I was like, you can't do that. That's somebody else's house.
But he comes in and is like, this is happening. And he runs away. Then he's like, you know what? I think that something's wrong with him, and I want to talk to him. I care about him. And they figure out there's a serum that if they inject it or have her drink it, he will take over completely.
Yeah.
If they don't, she will.
It wasn't even like a serum. It's just like a bunch of testosterone. He's going to do like steroids.
Yes, it's a bunch of testosterone in like a blue thing.
Yeah.
Blue testosterone. And so what he does, he like ties himself down to a bed, and when he transforms, she's there. And it should be the easiest thing in the world. It should be so easy. There she is. Stick her, don't talk to her. That's what she hates. Don't even listen to her. Just stick her in the leg.
Yeah, that's easy.
And the movie is over.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you have to do. And you wait. That's all you have to do. But somehow, tied down to the bed, she kicks the girlfriend who falls on a thing, starts a fire.
Yeah, what the hell? It's an apartment building. You're going to kill everybody. Instead of going to the kitchen and grabbing like a fire extinguisher or one in the hallway, which I'm pretty sure they had one in the hallway. No.
And then releases her and then tries to stick her with the rest of the serum. Like, no, you do the opposite way.
Yeah.
Priorities, you know?
No.
And she runs out to the big release party of the new scent. And she's only wearing like whatever he was wearing, which was like boxers and a t-shirt or some shit.
Yeah.
And she steals a dress from some poor...
Oh yeah, she's like, she does the Terminator 2 scene.
Yes.
With the motorcycle cop, and he's like, that's a nice bike. But she says it about the lady's dress, and then the next scene, she has it.
Nice dress.
There's a big thing about the scent, and she's like talking on a microphone going, blah, 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 I'm doing this. The girlfriend stabs her and puts the rest of the shit in her.
Oh no!
So the movie's kind of over. We have to watch it happen, which is very painful.
Yeah.
He starts transforming.
Well, it happens in front of like everybody, and then like, you know, it's like, oh my god, gross. You should get like waxing for your lip. You got a mustache, lady.
A mustache from here, right there.
Yeah.
That grows, and then she like puts a little wipe over it, and it disappears. Like that's not how it works.
She's quite lovely.
Oh, yes, I agree. And whose fault is that?
He starts to turn into he again, and then like,
you know, the gay guy sees it, and it's like, I'm a man, and he's like, oh, thank God.
It's Richard. Oh, thank God.
And she gets a boner for some reason.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
If,
the old investor lady had to like cover the dog's eyes.
Yes.
You know?
Well, definitely. You don't want to have the dog see it. That's gross.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm Helen. Ha ha ha.
Oh.
I'm Helen.
The big reveal.
And now he kind of spins the whole thing. He says, oh, I was walking in the shoes of a woman just to figure out what the scent should be like. Like, oh, I see.
And everybody's like, wow, you're a genius. Congratulations. Let's give you your own lab and a better raise. And he's like, well, first I'm going to need 3 weeks off with my fiance that I still call my girlfriend. And then she's like, oh, how romantic.
And then I felt the movie ended. I was like, good, it's over.
They go, they kiss. He raises his leg wearing the lady dress. You know, like, oh, rocker. Oh.
And then he reaches down.
The leg thing, and I'm like, oh, that was a cute touch. But then the music was playing, and I got pissed off again.
Well, then he reaches down between his legs, and everyone's like, oh, no, not again. And just, like, pulls out a thong. It's like...
And her damn thongs.
Oh, yeah. That's right. How did he take that thong off?
I don't know. It wasn't ripped or anything. Like...
Yeah, he didn't pull it down. He, like, pulled it up.
Like in Zoolander.
Yes. He did this. Oh. So many movies were inspired by this.
I guess. I was happy when it ended. And I hated it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't feel happiness for the rest of that night.
We watched, I forgot now, some good movie after. It was like, okay, enough of that shit.
Yeah? What was it, the zombie Nazis?
No, I watched that this morning. That was really bad.
Oh, I got 4 minutes. I got 4.5 minutes into it, and I was like, I can't fucking do this. And I turned it off.
The premise seems like it could be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rock and Roll Zombies. It was not a good movie, Rock and Roll Zombies. I wouldn't recommend it. It's tedious. Not as tedious as this, but there's times where you don't know what's going on. It's very forgettable.
Yeah, I already forgot. What were you talking about?
I don't know.
Subscribe. Smash that.
Smash that like button.
Yeah. Follow us on LinkedIn.
Yes. On the guy from the president of the bank from that Neil Breen movie?
Yeah.
He's on LinkedIn. He's looking for a job.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I saw it today.
Have you reached out to him? Man, how did he go from being the president of a bank to being unemployed? Is Neil Breen working on any other films?
Actually, according to the internet's Neil Breen's movie retrospective, which is 5 hours long, is coming out soon.
What the hell is that?
Don't know. I don't know if it's all the movies in one thing. I don't know if he's gonna do other shit, but apparently it's 5 hours and 36 minutes, he says. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, it can't be just the movies, because that he could put that out years ago.
I feel like that's what else could it be?
One of the interviews, he said that he was going to put out a thing that's like a little film school for people, like how he does shit, which should be hilarious to see. I'm gonna go and do a thing.
Oh, okay. You do that. You edit, because friggin' Steve's not around anymore.
Not.
That son of a bitch.
He is a SOB.
Yeah. I had to do all this myself. Fuck you, Steve. You apply for unemployment, you unemployable bastard.
Fired from Movie Explosion, Inc.
Yeah. LLC, Movie Explosion. Corporation.
I want to go this way and do a thing.
All right. Sweet. We're just going to stay here and take a look at that.